is a bus stop that we have transformed. We've done 3 along the 322 route that goes from Clapham Common to Crystal Palace, 2 of which are pocket parks as sponsored by the Mayor of London scheme. And the first one popped up in Landor Road in Stockwell, and we opened it in 2013, and it's a real beauty, I have to say. I don't think we've got any pictures of it up. That's it there. And we encourage the growing of edibles, but other things. The reason why we encourage the growing of edibles is because a tomato bush, for instance, is far more inclusive, we have found, than a rose bush. It generates conversations, because we all eat, basically. It's a sort of human common denominator. So what we use through design-led initiatives to transform otherwise bleak spaces is our medium is growing, but also design. And from starting with that original edible bus stop, and now in West Norwood and in Crystal Palace, we also do temporary pop-up installations for festivals. We've worked with the South Bank, that's a South Bank, and that's a South Bank. We've done something in, we did a whole show feature for RHS Hampton Court, and we've even done things like hang 3 bombs over a street in the Barbican and planted them with olive trees, so they were peace bombs. Will?
So yeah, I guess the common denominator is that we work quite closely with each different community, whether that is the community that goes through the South Bank. This was at Whitecross Street Festival. Hampton Court was a reaction to the riots of 2011. So we created a rioted street, but rioted by plants, illustrating the benefits of green over grey. And we feel that a brutal landscape makes for a brutal outlook. And so by just adding that little bit of green, we reconnect or connect people with green space and where their food comes from, and then you've got a direct link from plant to plate. And that could be anywhere from the Victorian streets of Stockwell to where we've been today, building a big installation in the Olympic Park. So that's working with that community, which is very new. But equally, they all get it, whether it's this kind of very new, fresh design space where they're transforming the Athletes' Village into the new East Village, or the old streets of Stockwell. There's this simple understanding that green space has a benefit on the psychology of the people who live there, the benefits it's creating, but each one also is creating a landmark for that space, so you design it so that they have an ownership. And that's key to what we do. Public space, you need to have ownership, otherwise you don't respect it, and therefore you have vandalism. And with the cuts going through councils and local government, it's intrinsic to what we do to enable the communities to help maintain it and grow food, so they have a kind of delayed gratification is also another thing. But
the communities maintain it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of use the
It's a vested interest, a sense of pride, a landmark. There's lots of win-wins there. I mean, obviously there are downsides, because people still nonchalantly throw their cigarette butts thinking that cigarette filters are biodegradable, which they certainly aren't. And you know, you still have a certain kind of somnambulist kind of mindset. But that said, people will stop and look at the garden, and we found by making it quirky and unusual and using sort of unusual ideas to present gardens, that you open the eyes, you preach to the unconverted, if you like, and you get them to take note of what you're doing and what's going on and how this can make a huge difference. For instance, on Tuesday night we worked overnight, and we've installed something like 48 large plant pots in Clapham North Tube Station's entrance hall, which is completely transformed it.
Wow.
And and there, because we've got south-facing windows, we've got herbs in the windows, but on the shadier side of the platform, we've got entrance hall, we have lots of shade-loving plants. So they want to win Underground in Bloom. They came to us, and so we kind of juggled a few clients' budgets around, and they've now got this amazing garden in the entrance hall.
So is that the tube station who came to you? The tube station's
Yes.
Clapham North, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So how do you make, I guess loads more questions. One, why Loughborough Junction, and are you doing anything in Loughborough Junction, and how you make a business out of, how does this all work?
Well, we charge for our services. But then there's a lot of what we do is social enterprise in the sense that, for instance, Clapham North Tube, we did that because the station manager's a really nice guy, and because we were working last week on animating the City Bridges Trust's Growing Localities Awards ceremony. I took the planting from that and put them in the pots, and we kind of pass the love on in that way. But say, for instance, these kind of projects, like for the South Bank, the Olympic Park, yes, we'll charge for those services. Here in Loughborough Junction, why? Why not? It's a great area. I'm so glad we're here. We've got Ebony riding stables there. All the other mechanics that are in the other arches further along, they're fabulous. It's a lovely little community here. On Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, there's a huge amount of Bolivians that come and play handball in that sports square just there. This is it just seems to engender community here. There's something very old Brixton about this area. It hasn't been affected by the gentrification, what's going on further down, basically.